Good evening, welcome back. We've got ourselves our third and final match of the day. It is the quarterfinals, third quarterfinals of four. Tomorrow is the fourth, but we're gonna see ourselves the last one of today. Goomba Gaming taking on Can to describe one of the favorite matchups for today. And of course, I'm not by myself. I'm joined once again by G Advance. Welcome back.
Yep, going to be going into the last matchup today a little later than we thought we were going to be, but should be fairly okay. And both of these are teams, well, Can't Describe in particular. Early on, when we first saw them, I didn't think they were going to get through the group stage in their first game, but they've bounced back, and both of these teams, I think, have played some pretty unusual lineups, particularly Can't Describe. They picked a Skeleton King, or Wraith King, whatever.
Yeah, it was a game that they did not win, has to be said, right? They had Skeleton King, Centaur, and Beastmaster or something manly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they did not win it, but it was a very strong pick, which I think would have been successful if you only got a BKB. Maybe.
Yeah, he skipped out the BKB throughout that game, and I can kind of understand why, because he didn't have that much, actually, in the way of farm or items, and they struggled to get farm and items, so I can understand why he did that. He just went for straight damage items, relying on his team to disable the enemy, but yeah, not getting a BKB on a hero like that, I mean, you're going to get kited out a fair amount, and they did end up losing that game.
Yeah. We're going to see if he makes a comeback. Would be nice, to be honest. I mean, I haven't seen him that often, and he did do very well, as said. Some global presence being banned out by Goomba Gaming, both the Nature's Prophet and the Ancient Apparition, while Can't Describe banned out a Clockwork and a Lycan. Different bans from what we have seen today. A Visage is picked up first by Goomba, a very well-rounded support, can do all kinds of things, aggressive tri-lane safe, dual lane, even though he's not the best at that, but without, like, he is a support. That's
I mean, it's
basically
very
there.
obvious.
Well,
he's always a support. He doesn't play in pretty much any other role. I think I've seen him once or twice be picked as a solo mid, and I'm pretty sure he lost pretty hard. So yeah, he's a hardcore support in pretty all situations. He does give them some good long range artillery. The great thing about Visage is he does not need to be that close to the fight. He can output his damage from very far out. Even his familiars, he can, he just sends those in, and he doesn't put himself under too much in the way of harm's way. Unusual to see him picked up though this early though, because I feel like we haven't seen him banned that much, have we? We've seen him banned in a couple of games in the first stage, but nobody's really picked him.
No, I mean, we've seen him yesterday, I think. Or maybe yesterday, Familiar Birds. I think so. But, I mean, we've seen him mostly on the banning side, and not even that, like, not every game. It's not like everybody wants to have him or something, so...
Yeah, he was banned in the first stage last game, but not in the previous game. And he wasn't picked at all that game.
So it's an interesting pick, also an interesting one to go as first, because the reason I mentioned that he is only played as support is that recently we've been seeing a lot of first picks for heroes that have just multiple role potential and just do multiple things and leave a lot of options open for you. While Visage overall wants to be with a dual support combination. He is a support. I mean, he can go aggressive or safe lane, that's fair enough, different kind of supports, but doesn't leave that much left to guess. Now, Dazzle and Batrider don't leave a lot to guess either. However, we have seen Batrider in jungle or mid or off lane. We've seen Dazzles on aggressive tri-lanes, safe lanes, and occasionally even a Dazzle mid, though I'm not going to expect that one here. But a bit more flexible compared to Goomba here.
Yeah, probably more flexible. The nice thing, though, about picking up Visage is it doesn't say whether they want to run their lane defensively or aggressively. He's great in both those situations. We see... I think the team that most typically shows how you play a defensive Visage is probably Cloud9, where AOI 2000 probably farms more on that hero than I've seen anybody else does it. Most people play the hero in a more aggressive role. At least they use him, for ganking and killing early on. Generally in aggressive tri-lanes, he was originally known as, this is the you only pick him for aggressive tri-lanes, but since then he's seen a lot more play. Goomba Gaming, second pickup Invoker. I've said this before. I think the Quaswex Invoker, it's a great pickup in all situations. Some people would potentially argue a little bit OP. At the very least, very annoying to deal with.
Especially if you're a Dazzle, because he kind of struggles with that in terms of having mana. He wants to have mana boots at some point, of course, but normally it takes quite a long time to get those. So yeah, I really like the pickup for Goomba. It's just a strong pick overall, as you said. There's really nothing bad to say about the Invoker in this meta at the moment. Centaur and Lifestealer removed from the pool by Goomba. A lot of manly heroes, and mostly heroes that can follow up on the lasso, be that by Infest in the Batrider, or be that by blinking in and stomping on the one that's being dragged. I like the bans, maybe not too much for the Centaur ban, but the Lifestealer ban definitely a strong one. With the Doom being removed from the pool by Can't Describe, I mean, the Doom is a strong hero, but it makes me believe that they want to pick up something that is especially weak against the Doom, like either a Morphling or a Storm or a Weaver or something like that.
Those were all the 3 heroes I was immediately thinking. As soon as you ban a Doom, it's not like... I mean, Doom, to an extent, you know, you could pick it maybe just to counterpick the Invoker in this stage of the game, but the big reason you pick him is to stop the very mobile heroes, and those are 3 of the big ones right now that see a fair amount of play. Weaver doesn't see that much play, but he's been fairly popular in this tournament, so I think he might be seeing a little bit of a resurgence, and yeah, all those 3 heroes, just immediately, as soon as you get doomed, you're like, well, guys, I got screwed. Because the thing is generally those 3 heroes as well, they play very aggressively into the enemy team because they know they can get out again, and you can't do that if you get doomed. Whereas if you're on an Invoker, generally you're pretty far back on an Invoker, because Invoker pretty much just plays like long-range artillery most of the time.
Yeah, we've got a Nyx Assassin ban as the last ban for Can't Describe, which is considered to be a counter towards the Batrider. But unlike, like, I thought they have something in mind that they want to pick, because that is why they ban out the Doom. They actually take a fairly long time to think about what they want to pick up, and now actually Goomba, they can take abuse over the fact that there is no Doom in the pool. They can actually take an advantage of that themselves by picking up one of those 3 heroes that we mentioned. For example, an offlane Weaver would still be quite a decent one to have. Jen is the hero that Can't Describe went for, so they've got some support there. On top of that, they've got some pushing power, and they've got a decent ganking combination with the Dazzle. However, in terms of disables, they're kind of low, and I mean, that all depends on which hero, which creep Chen is able to pick up. So I'm not entirely convinced, but they seem to have a plan. I'm hoping for them that they get a carry that also has a bit of a disable. I mean, of course, the Flame Break and the Lasso can also interrupt and stuff, but you kind of want to have a hard disable, especially since you banned out the Doom and maybe opened up the way for something very mobile like a Timbersaw there. And I mean, what's going to stop the Timbersaw right now, right?
Not a huge amount, and I feel like Can't Describe it. The way their draft is going, at the very least, it feels like they want to run a push strat, right? Yeah. But so far, 2 of the heroes don't really fit into that too much. They just picked up the Slark, that's one of them, and Batrider not so much either. He is useful for helping you get those pickoffs and start the fight on your terms, which is something that push strats generally struggle with. Obviously, you're grouping up going underneath a tower, so oftentimes, you know, push strats, they can't actually start the fight on their terms, whereas Batrider, he can fly around the tower, and in Firefly, he can go into the trees or something, and then you can start the fight on your own terms, but yeah, I'm not sure about the Slark pick here. Maybe he's going to go into an off-lane or mid-roll or something, but I guess he's going to be the carry, though, given that they're running... Because he has to be, right? Because they're running a Chen, unless the Batrider goes in one of those roles.
Well,
I don't know,
you can
maybe.
I mean, if you want to have something else in the safe lane, it can still be something else to put Batrider on the off-lane, or Slark on the off-lane, or Slark mid, or Batrider. No, that's one, because in a jungle...
I just feel like they need a pushing carry, though. We're picking up a Dazzle and a Chen. Those are 2 very good early pushing supports.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they, like... what they would still want. I at the moment, I would say Batrider mid, Slark safe lane, and then put up a nice off-lane hero that can pull his weight. And off-lane... Weaver. Like Weaver, actually, that would have been amazing. But, I mean, Goomba is really abusing the Doom ban right now.
They are, and the big thing as well, for me, is that this Weaver will go onto the safe lane. He'll get good farm. There's not good heroes for dealing with him early on. The Slark, if he gets a very lucky pounce, it doesn't even matter. Weaver can just run, he can just time-lapse, or he can just run around invisible, and there's nothing Slark can do. And Batrider, until he gets a Blink Dagger, isn't going to be able to initiate on this Weaver. So the Weaver's going to get around 10 minutes of complete free farm, basically. And the thing is, Chen Dazzle is not good at zoning out heroes. Timbersaw's going to get good XP on this offlane, and he's a great counter-push hero as well. He throws out the Chakram from long range, it just sits there. It'll burn up a lot of Timbersaw's mana, but if it stops the push, it's going to be well worth it. The funny thing for me is that Can't Describe, the hero I immediately thought of when I saw Dazzle, Batrider, Chen, I was like, okay, they should pick Lycan. Oh, Can't pick Lycan. We banned Lycan.
Yep.
Whoops, guys. I feel like Can't Describe are getting pretty seriously outdrafted here. Maybe if they pick something up in the next couple of picks. And of course, a push strat, I mean, it's very strong right now. They can probably do stuff, but I'm very worried for them.
Yeah, they kind of seem to have shot themselves in the foot, and I'm expecting here to be having a mind-blowing last pick that we haven't thought of yet, but we did thought about that one before. I mean, there comes your Doom ban, you know, but it's at the same time, is it gonna be enough? Well, to be frank, I mean, Goomba Gaming, their disables are kind of lacking, so they have a chance, depending on what the last pick is, which is gonna probably be a support together with the Visage. I wouldn't mind seeing a Sand King. Sand King Visage is good. It's fun.
Lion.
Or Lion.
Yeah, definitely doable, but they want somebody with guaranteed lockdowns, and Lion, probably one of the best heroes for that. Instant Hex and the Earth Spike can follow up on it. I feel like one of the big items for both these teams is, I think Invoker and Storm will probably go for it, is Orchid again. Yeah. Both of them need it this game.
And basically, it's whoever gets the Orchid first wins the game, would you say?
Yeah, and I mean, Storm Spirit should probably do that first. He's a slightly better farmer. He's a very good AoE farmer. So I expect the Storm Spirit to get that first, unless he gets ganked, though. And Goomba, they do have good heroes for doing that. Can't Describe, not quite so much, because the Dazzle isn't great ganking hero, but the Chen perhaps can come in with the creeps and do that.
Yeah, apparently Nier knows a pirate. It's quite intense. I don't know any pirates.
I'm afraid I don't know any pirates either.
Har har har. Sorry. It's very bad. One thing I like is that we have got smokes picked up by both teams, and that means aggression. So I'm kind of looking forward to that, as I don't know what Dazzle was wearing, but I don't know. I don't think I like it a lot. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Apparently it's a headdress of the Uwippy.
Yeah, I looked that up too, but I'm not convinced.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
But we've got both supports having a smoke here on the side of Can't Describe, and Lion has got one as well. So they have got some plans for being aggressive. Let's take a look at who's playing what, so we can figure out our lanes as well. As we have got, for the side of Can't Describe, I think this is a stand-in. Oh, I think Lion is or Dazzle is a stand-in rather. Baraban from Ultra HS playing the Dazzle or Ultra HS. Baraban, I don't know which one I'm... Like, we haven't seen this player before, so I'm thinking it's a stand-in. But he's playing the Dazzle.
I'd call him Baraban. Yes,
yeah, Baraban.
I don't really know.
FNJKA will be playing the Slark here on the bottom lane. We've got in the middle lane, it is the Storm played... Whoa! Camera view, thank you, Exmo. That was, all of a sudden I was in spectator view. But yeah, Storm Spirit for Axmo, we've seen playing core, carry a lot of the times. Zunder will play the Chen, and then last but not least, it is Afterlife on the Batrider here on the off lane.
Yeah, and on the side of Goomba, the safe laner for the team, it's going to be OD here. He's picking up the Weaver. They also have Rain. He's going to be on the Visage. The other support for the team is going to be the Nino. Further into the jungle, he's on the Lion. Looks like they're just pulling at the moment and trying to zone Afterlife out of here. He is going to struggle versus this tri-lane. In the mid lane, it is going to be Goomba's Near. He's on the Invoker. There's 1v1 matchup versus the Storm Spirit. And so far, already the Storm Spirit dominating that matchup. But last but not least, it's going to be Chill. And I think how Chill does is going to be an important part of Goomba's strategy. Because, I mean, I said it earlier, they don't have great supports for zoning out Chill for a while. Baraban's trying, but I mean, the big problem is that
he's not gonna die.
Dazzle does physical damage, right? And Chill, he's getting extra level. He's level 1. He got reactive armor, so he's just running up, and he doesn't even care. He's used up a couple of tangos, but at this stage, I mean, he's gonna get free XP now.
Yeah, his Afterlife is getting away. Still some experience here on near the neutrals, which is great for him, but he also is having a tough time, and he should be having a tougher time than Chill does. And a lot, as we said, also is going to come down to this middle lane, where Nier is actually sitting on 6 for 0, Axmo on 8 for 5, so he is ahead here in this middle lane compared to the Invoker. The one who gets level 6 first for Invoker doesn't make a big difference, but when that Storm Spirit reaches level 6 and he is able to make something happen with it, that will also be a game changer, I think, if he's able to do it. It's very reliant on the lanes here for Can't Describe. If they lose their lanes, I don't give them much chance in this game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they can group up and take some towers and such like that, but Not if the Timbersaw gets an early level 6, and it doesn't look like he's going to be zoned too hard here. The thing is, I mean, they're running a Chen, right? So they just have less people that are available to zone people out, and Afterlife is actually doing a pretty good job up here as well, actually, of just running around, causing problems for the supports, and at the moment he's interrupting the pull, he's going to get a lot of extra XP and last hits here. This is nice for him.
Yep. One thing I'm waiting for, though, is Chen or Dazzle to do something with the smokes. I mean, picking up smoke at level 1, it's...
Smoke by the Nino. He's going to go towards the middle lane here. They're going to try and get this kill on
He's
Axmo.
got 2 disables. It's still daytime, though, and that's maybe a problem. Normally you want to gank around the 4-minute mark, I guess, if you're by yourself. Because then you would have
this is a difficult kill,
time
but
advantage. They're
it's
gonna go
doable.
for, oh, Tornado to set it up. Short range Tornado, doesn't matter. In comes the Hex. In comes the Impale. No mana for Cold Snap, but I don't think it matters. The Vortex is there, but Axmo is going to be a goner. One more last hit. Nier takes first blood. And that already could spell a very difficult game for Counter-Strike from this point onward. Although they do get Slark, even they're gonna lose the Slark in return, but they do get the Timbersaw, so it's an exchange there. But Timbersaw died on that lane, on the top lane. He went actually for a solo kill because Dazzle wasn't involved in that one at all.
Yeah, I mean, pretty impressive that he managed to get the solo kill, but he does die for it. So he's not exactly getting, you know, a huge amount. He's going to lose a little bit of the gold there. Yeah, this kill for Nier, it means a lot, because he gets his phase boots now, and now he can actually last hit against Axmo. Now he can actually fight over the last hits and denies. Previously, I mean, he was like a good 20 base damage behind. Axmo as well, I mean, he can Remnant and then throw overloads on him. He just has a huge advantage in the lane. But now that he has phase boots, Nier, he should be able to do okay, and they're actually just giving... I like this movement from the Nino. Immediately comes in and gets the extra XP then.
Yeah, as Chill is actually having some issues bottom. But that's it. I mean, we saw the typical thing that Dazzle can do. He's only level 3, went for a poison, and as you said, with that reactive armor, he can just get away. He can just walk out of there. Still use his Timber Chain. His Afterlife is in some trouble. Soul Assumption chasing him down and killing him off. Rain will take it. And that's going to be 2 lanes where there is already a kill going the way of Goomba.
Yeah,
Well, 3
Goomba
lanes,
up
actually.
3 for 1 at this point. I think we both predicted this. I feel like Goomba, they've just got a slightly stronger draft than the side I can't describe. I feel like they're relying a lot on this Slark to sort of overperform this game, because he does have the opportunity to. There isn't much that can deal with him this game, not much in the way of AoE stuns at least.
Yeah, Chill is going to be getting away again. I mean, I like that they're so aggressive, but they might have just been a bit too aggressive. The teleport actually gets cancelled, and we have got ourselves 2 supports of Goomba coming in here. They will counterword one of the words of Can't Describe, and that's going to make Storm's life a lot harder, even though he's already afraid to show himself on the lane. He is farming the jungle right now. He really wants to get that level 6 without dying. I don't blame him, but it does, I mean, it hurts him. He is now level 6, finally, but it's a difficult time for Can't Describe. How are they gonna get back? Is it all about waiting for a Blink Dagger or an Afterlife, or waiting for that Storm to get us Orchid? Is it all like just holding back, trying to not die?
I mean, maybe they can push down the bottom tower. Chill hasn't quite got the mana or the levels yet for Chakram, so maybe that's their opportunity, but it's very difficult. The 6-minute mark is just coming up, so that's when the catapult is out. I feel like that's their only real option at that point. Push down this bottom tower, and then smoke up with Baraban as well as Zonda. They can move into the mid, try and get a kill on the on Nier in the middle lane, but it's not like Axmo or Batrider. I mean, neither of those two are close to any big item at this point, so they're not going to fight people.
Oh, Exmo is already out of mana, and Nier is so fast with his Vex. Not going to continue chasing though, even though I think maybe he could have gotten the kill, but that would be diving a tower, and perhaps it's a bit too early for that, as we have got a pause coming out for Goomba. I'm seeing this future for Can't Describe, and it's not a pretty one. They really need to make work of the Slark. I mean, timing is so important for them. Luckily, they have got a Chen, as you already mentioned. He is not taking experience from anybody else, and he's building towards a mechanism. When he is not ready, perhaps they can make something happen there, but they're in such a tough spot where they can't be in for too long.
Yeah, they can't afford to stay in this sort of situation. They have to try and start getting something done, because Goomba, they potentially have a better late game carry in the Weaver, who should be very good versus a Slark. He's easily able to dodge those pounces, and like I said, even if he does get caught, he can time lapse out. He's getting a Hand of Midas as well, so he should have a golden XP advantage going later. Yeah, this is going to be difficult for the side of Can't Describe to do much about this. At the very least, the supports on the side of Goomba, they're not quite getting as much as the supports on the side of Can't Describe, but they don't really need it that much. I feel like they're okay supports for just running around and trying to kill people, and they'll probably do that again soon. They'll probably try and go on the Storm Spirit. At the very least, they're crushing Afterlife in this lane here. It's 6 minutes in, he's just got Tranquil Boots. That's like it.
And it's so difficult because normally Batrider, when he does bad, he'll go into the jungle and he'll farm there, but there's a Chen there and a Storm Spirit, so good luck with that.
Yeah, he can't do that this game. I mean, look how Axmo is being forced to play. The way that Nier has played this lane, actually going for the runes as Invoker, which is something fairly rare, is he's been able to just use that Cold Snap EMP, and he's basically forced Nier to basically sit in the jungle, use up his mana there, and then just go back to base. Nobody's been in the mid lane for a while now. Afterlife is going to come in and try, but it's not like he's going to last hit against Nier. I mean, look at the base damage difference between the two of them. It's like, it's a good 30 base damage.
Yeah, it's scary. I can't, like, Chill is being so careful here while he doesn't have a ward on. There were two supports hanging around the bottom lane, thinking maybe they can go on Chill. We have got no disable. Well, actually, there's a disable on the center, but I don't think he's gonna catch up. I mean, I would really like to see a troll in this case, but they see him. But Chill is so careful.
Yeah, he's playing very careful here, and I mean,
there we go.
Vortex
to start things off. In comes the poison. The Timber Chain away is still there, and the center is not able to catch up. Maybe he'll still get picked off though, and gets pounced upon by the Slark, and he gets the kill. The teleport of the Lion still came in, but it was way too late. The Nino is just gonna stand here to maybe soak up some experience, as he definitely needs that one. He's sitting at level 4 still. At least they get something. They used 4 heroes for that though, and a lot of mana.
Yeah, I mean, it's all they can do though at this point. He's probably the only lane where they can actually get a kill. They certainly can't get one anywhere else, and they need this tower gold at this point, because they're getting pretty badly out-farmed.
Well, they're gonna get Chen creeps, so Chen uses ult for the creeps. Slark is already hiding in the trees. Perhaps he wants to try and make it go, but he's not gonna have the patience for sitting around and waiting. He just wants to try and get some farm. Or denies, perhaps. But now the Nino will sit behind Chill, so it will be tougher to kill him off. It's 2 for 3. Not a very high kill score, especially not compared to what we've seen earlier on today. But I think for CD, it's the best way, because if they start fighting, which they actually try, they get the Lion still. But in comes Nier, wants to try and take down the Slark, and it looks like he will be able to, as he can't get out. That's not a favorable trade. I was just about to say, I was thinking for Can't Describe, it's good that they're not fighting, because they would be outfought at this point. They're out-leveled and out-farmed, and they just prove my point.
Yeah, they do their best to try and get something there, but it's not happening.
Afterlife is trying to run, but he's out of mana. Soul Assumption chases him as well as a bug, as in 2 bugs. Actually, Afterlife, 7 health, makes it out alive. I think that maybe that... I mean, Odie, I thought he could go for that. I really did.
I think he probably could have. Seeing the TP, though, maybe he just, he panicked and didn't go, oh, it's only the Dazzle, I don't actually care that he's coming in. Because the Dazzle, I mean, he only had enough mana for a Shadow Wave at that point. They didn't exactly know that. So he could have thought, oh, that's a Slark or whoever, and that could have been dangerous if it was. But the Slark actually... He's doing some fairly good work for the team at the moment. He's managed to take out the Timbersaw again. The Timbersaw, he is getting shut down fairly well, but he's still managed to get his level 6 at this point, and they haven't taken down the tower. So this tower, it's now got like twice as hard to actually finish off.
Yeah, I kinda like the Slark in this game. I mean, he is one of those heroes that doesn't need a lot to be able to do a lot. And he is... Actually, what is he going for?
That's gonna be it's a ring. Ring of
Aquila thingy?
No, it's a ring.
Yeah, Aquila.
Yeah, Ring of Aquila, that's the name of it.
Actually,
it's like
I'm not convinced, but Tornado, Exmo, hexed up, killed off, you're dead. Storm Spirit with an escape mechanism or not. Afterlife coming in. Afterlife, actually, I'm surprised that he is sitting on 1k gold. He is halfway down to his Blink Dagger, and he now will be getting some jungle farm, so it looks like he's forced Chen out of the jungle. Chen, who is 300 gold away from having his mechanism up.
Yeah, I mean...
That's going to be a pounce on a Visage solo kill for the Slark. Really, this
that was
Slark
a nice pounce.
Yeah, and this Slark is gonna be one of those heroes to really be doing some work, carrying the world on his shoulders. But then again, he's carrying the game for CD on his shoulders at this case. As Chill is in some trouble, he's still able to timbertain himself away, but perhaps slowed enough for Slark to dive now. He does have his ult though, but with the teleport incoming for the Lion, not really wanted to risk it. Although Lion is smoked.
They don't actually know he's here.
Exmo, that is a Lion. He is already dead. The Finger of Death used, and I mean Timbersaw might still be dead. But they lost their Storm Spirit, which is, oh my, he is so sad right now. I can feel his pain.
Yeah, difficult situation for him, and to be honest, it looks to me like Goomba, they're probably going to pick up the Slark as well from this. They do have the EMP Tornado combination. It should be fairly easy to hit. That said, Dazzle is going to be here, so he should be able to heal Slark, but yeah, I mean, it's another kill that goes their way, and they lose the Timbersaw for it, but I feel like it's well worth it. They take out the solo mid again.
Yeah.
Storm Spirit, he's one of those heroes, if you don't get that early snowball on him, he struggles a lot.
He does. It is, I just don't know what to say at this point. I like, they try, and especially Storm tries. It's just, they get punished for their movement so hard every time. They rotate. I mean, Slark, the skills that Slark has got were all on his turf, on his lane. But when they rotate, it is like Goomba is always there. They always are able to reply to whatever Can't Describe is doing. While if Goomba rotates, CD is too late to help out.
Yeah, and I think that's the smart way of playing this, right? Because every time that a support is rotating to defend people on this bottom lane, or they're rotating around, they're causing fights that Can't Describe can't win. That's more time that they're not trying to do anything about this Weaver, and he's going to get a Lincoln Sphere fairly fast up. He's already got a Hand of Midas. He's going to end up very, very farmed, and I don't think anybody's going to be able to deal with even a mid-game Weaver in this game. It's going to be very farmed. Well above... He's already 1k above the Slark, and the Slark has 5 kills.
Yeah, in a very mid-game oriented lineup like CD has, it's great to be able to do stuff in the middle game, but if there's going to be someone on the other team like the Weaver that is normally a late game carry that's already able to pull his weight early on, that's just deadly. That's just a very difficult thing to come back from. We do see Weaver actually leaving his lane. He actually went towards middle lane, not able to do anything, but might be having a bit of a tougher time to try and split push right now before he has his Lincolns up, so he's trying to find different ways to farm. But yeah, he's just doing really well. He's sitting highest on net worth. Invoker is actually second, who seems to be going for a Scythe of Vice actually as his first item. Well, first item after Phase and
he might go Yule Scepter,
but not.
I'm not sure. He could go Scythe of Vice or Yule Scepter.
All Yules, but he's not going.
I feel
Orchid.
like Scythe is too expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not going Orchid this game. I mean, if he does pick up an early Yule Scepter or an early Scythe of Vice, both will essentially give him the same ability. If you're silenced by an Orchid, you can Yule Scepter. It'll get it off you. No problem at all, and of course the Scythe of Vice, it's basically just better than an Orchid.
Yeah.
Although it's much harder to build up, but that said, it's not like the Storm Spirit's going to have one soon. He's just got treads.
Well, it looks like CD is going for a different kind of game plan. They're 3-manning middle right now. They've got the Storm on the top lane trying to farm some. They've got Slark on the bottom lane actually still battling Chill, who's happily to sit bottom lane constantly and maybe just annoy Slark. As long as he doesn't die more, he should be okay, but he has actually died quite a bit now, 4 times. He has 4 out of the 6 kills on Can't Describe. That's actually quite painful. But with Goomba actually defending their tower, I mean, delaying this game is all in Goomba's favor. That is
pretty much
just good for them. So as long as they are able to make sure that CD cannot push down any tower and be ready with the teleports as soon as CD tries something, then they're okay for this game.
Yeah, the only big thing that's going to turn this in the favour of Goomba is possibly this Blink Dagger. It's going to be up fairly soon on the Batrider, but it's still a fairly late Blink Dagger. He's rushing this Blink Dagger, and it's going to be late. So, yeah, Can't Describe. They're just struggling this game. At the very least, they have their Chen. He has picked up a mech already. They have the ability to push, but it's very difficult to push against heroes like Crossworks Invoker, I mean, Visage, Lion,
Timbersaw, Weaver,
and Timbersaw.
Entire
all of these
lineup
heroes are
of
difficult
Goomba.
to deal with. Yeah, I mean, Weaver, not that great at anti-push, I would say. He can throw out the Bug Swarm, but most people just sort of ignore that, or you can kill it off pretty fast. He's actually maxed that up, so yeah, it'll probably be pretty good at counter-push as well.
Yeah, it also stops the creeps from going in. Like, you can, if you manage to get it off before the creeps actually reach the tower, you're forcing CD to tank up the tower if they still want to ignore the bugs. That's pretty easy.
So yeah, this is very difficult for them to actually push against, but I feel like Can't Describe, they're behind on gold. It's probably their only way of getting some serious gold income right now. They kind of need to just group up and take a push, but Afterlife is actually smoked up here with Axmo, but Axmo reveals it. Well, he doesn't actually reveal the smoke, but he uses a spell, so it makes it pretty obvious, and Afterlife is not going to get him here.
And it's a Weaver, so he can just press W if he's fast enough, which he was, and get away. So that's a Blink Dagger reveal. In the meantime, Chill, he's going to be okay as well. Nice set tower shockwave bombs, but it's not gonna do anything. That's really hurting him. Slark is in a bit of a pause. He has a Blink Dagger of his own, actually. That's interesting.
Surprising. It does allow you to get pretty much perfect pounces, and the thing about Slark is that as long as you're in Shadow Dance, it's very difficult to almost impossible to actually finish you off and kill you because your regen is so high, and of course there's a lot of spells that you simply can't use. You know, you can't Finger of Death him down if he's in his ulti form. But that said, it only lasts 4 seconds. So I mean, this is kind of an all-in item for him. This is basically saying I want to kill people. He doesn't want to farm anymore. They want to try and get something done, which is probably the best way of thinking about this, but it's very difficult for them to actually get something done, because Goomba are playing this very safe.
They are. I mean, kudos to them for actually being so reined in. I saw Rain's name and I can't help myself, I'm sorry. But they are really playing very defensive. And I mean, it's the way they have to play this game, obviously. But it's one thing to know what you're supposed to do, and a second to actually be able to hold yourself in while you know you're kind of ahead, and you know it's still a game of Dota. You don't want to sit behind your tower the whole game. You want to play, you want to fight, you want to get kills. But this is a game where you don't have, you shouldn't, and they're playing this really nice. They have got some. They don't. They have only got one sentry ward there. They don't really have a lot of wards up. They don't really have a lot of map control in that regard. Wait a second, blink forward, pounds. He gets the pounds, but it's still a Weaver. You do need a Batrider for that to really work out, or at least dust or sentries or something. But no, Slark does not get a kill. More Blink Daggers, this time on the side of Goomba. Lion has his own.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason why they haven't actually got so much in the way of sentry wards up. Visage, he kind of wants to finish up his medallion, and of course Lion, he's been rushing up this blink, nothing but boots and a blink dagger. I was gonna say the supports are fairly poor on the side I Can't Describe, but at least they're not Dazzle poor. Dazzle is very poor at this stage.
He's still he's only 200 gold behind the Visage, you know.
Yeah, but the difference is that the Visage is building up towards an item, whereas this Dazzle is probably going to be stuck buying wards most of this game.
Yeah, well, because of Chen being just prioritized a bit in farm. In the meantime, on the top lane, we've got ourselves another pounce, but a time lapse will make sure that Weaver is okay. Now Storm forced to zip out, still has a bug on him, which will get taken down, but... Okay, so you have got a lineup. Oh, another... I like how they try again. Slark still has a Shadow
they're
Dance,
trying
though,
as hard as they can. Slark can struggle a little bit for HP here, but Odie is not going to kill him, and I mean, they have to use all 3 of these heroes, and they'll still struggle to kill Odie here. He doesn't have time lapse, though. They might get him.
Oh, there we go. Now they go again, and that's finally the kill. Axmo, you were not needed there. Thank you for your presence, but I mean,
bottom lane, they're going to go on Zonda here.
Oh, poor...
They're diving underneath the tower. This could be very dangerous if anybody TP's in, but... Alright, he's dead.
Yeah. I was going to say he has neck and hand of God, but then the Nino said no. And that's a dead Chen. They will trade towers, though. Tier 1 tower top will drop. I mean, you've got this lineup on the side of Can't Describe that has got a blinking Batrider to lasso. You've got a blinking Slark to pounce. You've got a zipping in Storm Spirit to Vortex. There's so much pick-off potential. And then they keep trying on the Weaver 3 times in a row. And okay, 3 times is a charm, apparently so. But I would almost say, is that worth it?
It's a lot of time used for them. It's probably worth it in some respects, but it's not like they're shutting him down. You know, he's already got his Midas up. He's going to be very close to a Lincoln Sphere soon. Yeah, he's almost got it. It's just a few hundred gold away. And yeah, I almost feel like it's wasted time for them. They need to maybe push some towers instead. That should be their primary goal. They do get the tower at the top lane, so that's nice, but yeah, in the meantime, the rest of the team of Goomba, they're making, you know, more use of this space. I would say that Goomba, I mean, other than the Weaver, they do have heroes that can, you know, fight right now. They should probably do that a little bit more. In fact, they're going to try that.
Next up. Oh my god, he's
That's
almost
a bit
able to turn it
crazy.
around. That's a kill on Lion. Slark still picked up by a tornado. Perhaps they can make something happen. EMP coming out as well, but won't hit on the Slark. Slark is okay. Initiation by Goomba, and they lost one of their own. Didn't even get the target that they wanted to go for.
Yeah, they went too early then. Nier, he was coming in. I thought they were waiting for Nier to turn up, but they just jumped in too early. They didn't have the EMP up. Maybe if they'd got the EMP as well as the cold snap on to follow up, they would have killed him off, but they weren't able to do that because the Lion just went in too early, and now it's going to be a mid lane push, but again, the push just goes down as soon as Chill turns up. Chakram level 2 easily cuts through that.
Yeah, and they really, you can really tell they're prioritizing defending. In the meantime, we do have everybody coming in from CD though, so they really want to fight. It will be a 5-on-4 fight. Lion is actually not there, but he has a blink, so he can be here very fast. So we'll see if they wait around long enough for him to actually get here. I don't know if CD can fight a 5-on-5 full fight though. I mean, that's a tough one to take. Slark is pretty rich though.
They probably can because of the mech as well as the Hand of God, but the thing is they need to win these fights hard, and I mean, they haven't initiated yet. They're struggling to even just get the creep wave up there so they can actually fight on that high ground. And I mean, look at Odie's play right now. He's just, stealing creeps from Chen with the Hand of Midas. That hurts the side of Goomba a lot, and well,
like a nice.
Oh no, sorry, that hurts can't describe, but whatever.
Yeah. Nice drawing on the minimap from the Invoker. They want to go for the tier 1 bottom. I don't blame them. Everybody off the side of CD is top or middle. And I'm actually curious to see what Slark is going to buy. He's sitting on 4k gold. We've seen a lot of Slark with Shadow Blades, but maybe he wants to go for a BKB. I mean, those hexes are pretty annoying for him. Do you think it's a BKB, or is he going for a very aggressive item still? I almost think like maybe he needs to go for an aggressive item since this is their aggressive type game.
I'm not sure, and I don't think he's sure either, to be honest.
Otherwise he would have bought it. Chill is going to get picked up by the looks of it. Is able to get away. 16 health! Oh my god. Well, only if you had Urn, then he would have been dead. Urn charge on him. It's a dead.
If only they had Orchid on the Storm Spirit, who actually
only
went
they had
for
a Blink
Midas.
Dagger on the Slark. Hello.
Yeah, they do still manage to pick him up there, and the Slark, he's going to actually threaten Rain here. He's going to get 2 from this, I think.
Well, we have got Weaver
Ooh.
teleporting in, but Slark,
Nice
fast
play by
enough to
Rain,
get away.
that.
Yeah,
That was a very nice play from Rain.
but also nice play from the Slark. He's not done. He's going for a Scotty, by the way. He pounces. Still wants to get the Visage. Couple hits needed. He's inside his Shadow Dance. Is it enough? The birds are already done stunning. 1 pounce needed. He gets the kill, but now he has to get away. The Hand of God coming out. He has a pounce. Jumps inside the trees. Doesn't have a teleport, though, and they know it. They see him, and they should be able to kill him off. Actually, Visage is going to get revenge. Unstoppable streak. 844 gold in the hands of Rain.
He just got a mech from that. That's actually a big turnaround there. The Visage dies, but he gets way more from dying there than the Slark does.
This is true. And I mean, this is... Did he have his Scotty ready at least? No, right? No, he didn't.
No, he just picked up the 2 Ultimate Orbs like midway through that fight. I was gonna say actually Scotty's probably his best option.
Slotty.
Slotty Scotty. But yeah, it's still the best option for him, and the Storm Spirit, he's gone for a straight BKB here.
Well,
I mean, we've all seen the stat. He does need it, but we've all seen the stats on this. Straight BKB on any hero like that normally gets BKB 2nd or 3rd. It hurts. You normally lose those games. Not because the BKB is a bad item on Storm, but because he's a snowball hero, he doesn't want to have to go BKB first, and he's been forced to this game.
And to be honest, if there's a Lion blinking and hexing you, it's only the it's the question: is he gonna be fast enough? That's a pretty tough question to answer. And do you hear this sound?
I do hear that sound. Sounds a little bit dirty, but I mean,
it was me patting myself on the shoulder. Because Invoker went for a Scythe of Ice.
Yeah, he did go for that Scythe of Ice. I saw he had the Mystic Staff a little bit ago, but yeah, it's a good item choice on him. And again, like you said, now they have more ways of just instantly locking people down. And yeah, I almost feel like this Slark probably should have gone for the BKB. It would have just made him a little bit more safe. You can use Dark Pact though before you get Scythed, and then if you do, it'll go off you, but that's not exactly reliable.
Oh, Invoker hexing up Afterlife as he comes in. In comes Chill as well. Afterlife gets graved. I think it's only delay of execution, though. He's going to try to teleport out. He makes it. No, he doesn't. The Weaver Bug actually eats him up. Lion is already picked up, though, on the side of CD as the Slark is trying to make things happen. What am I saying? Trying for? He is making things happen. Pounce up on Invoker as well, who will die. Still gets the EMP up, but it doesn't matter. The Hand of God keeps everybody of CD up, while Rain gets picked up as well. That's 4 dead. Triple kill for this Slark. They might get the Weaver as well. He's trying to run away. Time lapses out. Still alive for the moment. Has also got that Aegis, of course. Dazzle is still picked up by the Weaver as well. That was Bugs. Bugs as he leveled it up. That's a really good level up. Chill's actually back in this as well. Not sure if it's the right call, but they're at least able to force CD away. The birds are not going to set up the Slark anymore. I have to say, this Slark is really pulling his weight and the weight of his teammates as well. Chill has actually decided to chase him down. The birds coming in as well. Odie as well. He still has a pounce though, and a blink as well. Blink is... Oh! He puts his blink... No, his blink is still there. Never mind. That hit didn't hit because of the pounce. Thank you. That's close though.
Yeah, he just manages to dodge the pounce there. A great team fight for the side of Can't Describe. They managed to get the jump on Goomba, despite the fact that the Hex was actually the initiation from Goomba. But the thing is they still get the Aegis on the Weaver. He's still going to have, you know, whatever item he wants in the next couple minutes. It probably going to be a Desolator would be the standard choice on him, but he can get anything he feels like. And, I mean... he's still going to out-carry the Slark, right? He's still out-farming the Slark, and he's still at the same level as the Slark. The Slark is doing fantastic for his team, but I doubt it's going to be enough. I still think this is pretty much in favor of Goomba. They might lose that team fight, but ultimately they're still gaining more.
And Slark's getting hexed up, getting impaled as well, but he's able to dodge most of it. Still going for the Nino. Will get that kill in the end, but he has to be running very fast to get out. Still gets hexed again. This time by the Invoker. The Grave comes out. Is it enough to keep him up? He has got a pounce again if he comes up. But is he having the health? I don't think so. He's getting killed off. That is a dominating streak for the Invoker as Bedrider trying to save that life of the Slark. Not able to do so, and will get picked up as well with the Soul Assumption from long range. Killing him off. Slark actually bought back. He's already back in this. He blinks forward. Goes for a pounce. Finds Odie actually. He has to be careful though. The time lapse will keep Odie safe for the moment. Sentry Ward goes down. There is a vortex on the storm, but he can't see his target. And that means no pick off. That means a Lion for a buyback, or maybe they can get him. No, he's outside of Sentry Ward range again. But a Lion for a buyback and 2 kills. That is a very good harvest for Goomba.
Very good trade for Goomba. And the thing is, throughout that fight, we saw the problem that they have is that Goomba, they have more lockdown spells, and now, because of all the hexes and stuff that they've picked up, so they can actually kill off the Slark. It takes them a long time to, but they don't lose very much to do so, and the difference is Can't Describe, they need to try and kill off the Weaver, but they can't do that. In the end, the Weaver gets the kill on the Slark, and yeah, they're just going to pull further and further ahead at this point. They've got the Desolator. Can't Describe, they need to look for a miracle.
I don't like banking on miracles. They have to hope for mistakes.
I mean, you can make your own miracles. One Can't Describe. No, I mean, it's not, you know, the worst situation in the world for them, but they have to find an absolutely fantastic pick-off, and it's so difficult to do that because they can't do it on the Weaver. That can't be the person they try to do it on. They simply don't have enough lockdown spells to actually kill him twice in a row. Maybe they can get him once, but even then he has to be completely isolated from his team, and he's not isolated from his team anymore. He's ready to fight.
Yeah, looks like Goomba is ready to fight as well, though, especially now with the Deso on Weaver. This is going to be a tricky one. The Sentry Ward already goes down for CD. They have a gem on the Chen as well, so they've got double vision right now, as the Foreigner song detects. Oh, Lasso, he grabs himself. Chill, will he get picked up beforehand? Chill, alive, still able to pull out some damage, but gets Vortex, gets bursted down. Dazzle in some trouble as well, finger down, and it's now 1-for-1, but it is CD that is the one to back off. Hex up on Zonder, drained, and that is a gem gone if he dies, and he will die indeed. As Odie gets the kill, killing spree for him, goes for the Slark, who now gets hexed up, can't get away, still has his ult, but can't, there he goes! Ah, he gets his ult up just in time. Should be able to get away with it, blinks away, and is out safe, pounces. For the moment, out safe. He has got a teleport scroll as well. He's not going to need it. It is Storm that is the last one here in the fight, and he is going to be able to get out as well. Bedrider, of course, was already long gone. And maybe even Storm is in some trouble because there's going to be a blinking lion soon. 5 seconds. They're still chasing. The birds have the vision. If the Nino gets a blink off in the hex, that would be a goner, but no. He's going to be able to hex someone else, though. Soon.
Yeah,
no,
and I mean, This is the issue, is they don't have enough to lock down Odie here, and when they try to, it simply isn't enough. Odie can just run around these fights, dance around the enemy team. They do focus down and take out the Timbersaw, but Odie's just getting bigger and bigger, and he's outputting a lot of damage in these fights as well. It's not like he's a carry hero who still needs more items. At this point, he hits hard.
He does. It's like, and I mean, Slark is farmed and all that, but he is no Weaver. Weaver can constantly weave himself in and out of fights. Slark can only do that once with his ultimate, and because he is like the big target, everybody focuses the Slark down. While on Goomba, I mean, we've seen it just now. They can't lasso the Weaver because they know they cannot take it down before he can time lapse, and he had an Aegis before this as well, who's just vanished. But they also have a Lion who you want to shut down because he has all the disable. They have got the Timbersaw that they prioritize. They don't really have it necessarily like, that is the target that we have to kill down. If we kill him off, then we win the fight.
There's a lot of people that they have to try and deal with. And the thing is, as well, is the Hex on the Lion as well as on the Invoker. I mean, the Hex on the Lion comes from his Blink Dagger, but the Hex from the Invoker, he's very mobile in the fight. He's very fast. He's able to use that, and I mean, they're not able to focus him down before he uses it. Once he's used it in a few other spells, I mean, at that point, is it worth trying to kill him? It's probably not. So they go for Chill, and Chill, he's not too bothered about dying. It's a Timbersaw. It's a hero who jumps into the fight.
It is Odie that they want, and it looks like they might have gotten him. No, the time lapse was still there. The Vortex straight after, though, and with the BKB of Storm, perhaps? No, they can't get him, and without getting that target, they have to run. They have to back off. Force stops Zeus to try and get away, but Goomba is on the run, on the chase. It is the Nino that hedges up Zonder. He's going to be the target, but Slark jumps back in, actually gets Lion. The gem drops on the floor as well, which will be taken, I believe, by CD. Chill is in trouble. Gem still on the floor, actually. Chill not able to pick it up. On the run. Bird drop left and right. The Timber chain away. He's able to get it, but the blink afterwards. That's a brilliant reason to get a blink, by the way. Damn Timbersaw. And in the end, CD get 2. They might not have gotten the target that they used everything on at the start of the fight, but they get the fight, and it looks like they're going to get the tower afterwards as well. That's a big win.
And I think the problem for Goomba is that they weren't all able to follow up. The Weaver, obviously, he had to go back to base. He took a lot of damage from the initiation there, and the fact that the Axemoor and the Storm Spirit was able to pull him back in. Can't describe, they're pulling this fight back, but the thing is, it's from Goomba's mistakes. Goomba made a serious mistake chasing then. There was no reason to, and they didn't have the availability of everybody following up. The Lion was able to get there, the Timbersaw was too, but Invoker was way back, Visage was way back, and Weaver had gone all the way back to base, but meanwhile,
one answer. Ooh, what?
Dazzle gets crushed.
Why was
well
he
out
still
of position.
there?
I have no idea. I can't even pretend to have a clue.
No, that's just a mistake there from the Dazzle. And yeah, I mean, Lion can blink forward, Timbersaw can Timber Chain in, but that kind of killed them off, especially with Slark already blinking back and having that control. Good going for CD to have that momentum, and to actually, like, the moment that they realize a mistake is made, to, of course, act on it. That is a difficult thing to do. They've taken down one of the 3 tier 2 towers. There's 2 left standing, and that means that CD actually has a bit of a tower advantage, and with that, the gold advantage is back as well, which is actually about the same amount of gold as a tower. So this game is entirely even in terms of gold, is fairly even in terms of experience. 2k is really nothing, and I have to say, it looks a lot easier than I feel like it is, but because of those graphs, I get renewed hope for Can't Describe. I mean, in the previous fight, they definitely showed that they have got some control. They backed off when they knew things weren't working out, and I think that they would have backed up safe as well. I think if and then Goomba, of course, made the mistake, and then they could go in again. But they've got some nice coordination going on right now.
Yeah, and I think one of the nicest things for them is their supports, apart from the Dazzle, aren't doing too badly for farm, and as well as that, they do have actually, for FNG here, he's going to go down possibly to this. Yeah, he does go down.
Wow,
Odie
that's a gem as well.
And Nino catch him out.
That's not FNG, by the way, but okay.
FNJ. I was trying to say his name like halfway through, but I can't say it that fast.
He's going to be able to teleport himself out. That was close, though. That Storm almost got him.
Yeah, Storm almost did get him. He does have the Orchid now on the Storm, so Storm is bouncing back a little bit. In fact, bouncing back a lot. He's managed to get second on the net worth somehow. But where did you get all this farm from, Storm? Like,
Midas.
what happened?
Midas happened.
I mean, yeah, Midas Gaming works apparently, and
He's
an
been
interesting thing I
prioritizing farm
think.
a lot as well. Like
Yeah,
Slark
he
has
has
been
been
jumping
prioritizing
around.
farm. The interesting thing for me is, I've noticed this earlier, and I think it's part of the reason that Odie isn't that much further ahead, is Odie's saving the use on his Hand of Midas just for the Chen creeps, which is nice and all, it hurts the Chen, but I feel like he could be a lot further ahead at this point. And they're going to go in for the Roshan again. It doesn't look like, can't describe, they're not going to close enough to stop this, so... Free Roshan for the side of Goomba, and... The last fight, they didn't have the Aegis. This fight, they're going to have it, and things are going to go their way again soon, I think.
CD is not having any clue about this, or even if they did, they're not going to go in, not without the Slark. Slark is so needed. He also doesn't have a buyback, by the way, Slark, that is. He went in for the Sanjin Yasha in the end. I like the item. It wouldn't be amiss to go for BKB at this case. There's so much control coming out from Goomba that I'm still kind of scared for that Slark, because he is the priority target. Although Storm is getting more and more important as well, especially with his Orchid ready, of course, sitting on 2,300 gold. And yeah, that Hand of Midas has really paid off for him. I'm really happy that he's not looking like he has had a shitty game. In terms of stats, not even either. I mean, so far, in terms of kills, compared to the other games we've had, not a lot of kills happening, though we are sitting on, of course, 35 kills in one game, which is a pretty decent amount still. 35 kills in 36 minutes. Mwah.
It's still a fairly large number
But
of kills.
imagine
I
how
feel
many
like we
kills
just
we had
get
in previous games.
we always get the teams that like fight a lot and kill a lot, though, right? So we get used to having more kills in our games than most other casters, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the thing for me is that, I mean, Odie can pretty much he can either pick up a crit, he can go butterfly or whatever at this point, and the Slark, he's gone for this very statsy build. It's very tanky. It's nice in the fights because it means if they do focus him, they take a long time to get him. I feel like in some ways though, he probably should have just gone Abyssal Blade. He wouldn't have had it by now, but he'd be fairly close, and it's a great item versus Weaver.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see CD pushing on the top lane, while, of course, the tier 2 is already dead there, while Goomba was able to take a free tier 2 mid without any repercussions. They even forced back teleports from CD, who didn't even pressure the tier 3 top. So
yeah, a bit of an interesting map movement. I think they were just trying to secure some farm, or just, avoid Goomba for the moment, because they know they just got an Aegis, so Goomba are looking to fight. So at the very least, Goomba aren't expecting them to be there. Either they know that Goomba are either going to do one or two things. They're going to go and push, or they're going to go and gank at this stage. They go for the push, and they avoid, having to fight it. They probably just want to avoid getting caught in a Weaver.
Odie really wants to have an Abyssal Blade.
I guess he does. I mean,
he's determined to sit next to the shop and wait for his item. Oh, he's actually going to sell part of it.
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting choice. Going for an Abyssal Blade on a Weaver, it is a great lockdown spell, right? And there's nothing that you can do about it.
Oh, let's see if he's gonna be able to put it to use. The Hex is already there, he pounces away from it. OD can't put it to use. Which item did he just sell, by the way? I missed that.
He sold his boots. To pick it up. Which is fine. I mean, it's a Weaver. You don't 100% need your boots. That said, boots are a very cost-effective item. I guess, it's either that or he sells his Hand of Midas or his TP Scroll. TP Scroll is pretty much an essential, and Hand of Midas, he's not level 25 yet. I think probably he would have been best off selling his Hand of Midas, though, in some ways.
I guess so. I mean, he probably wants to get his boots back when his Aegis disappears, and then sell his Hand of Midas later on, but for now...
Maybe, but he might just get another tank item. He might even just get like a heart or something. That would make him pretty much invincible this game.
Yeah, because the physical damage coming out from CD is just not that strong. I mean, yes, Lark is nice, but he's not your typical late game carry. He's nice.
No, Slark takes a lot of time to actually get his damage out. He's not a high, he's not a high burst damage here. He doesn't have like an inbuilt crit or anything. Items like that aren't even good on him. He needs to be fairly tanky. He needs to do his damage over time. He needs to get lots of essence shift out to actually start really hitting hard. So yeah, getting an item like a heart on the Weaver would make him practically invincible. I'm a bit confused over the Abyssal Blade. I mean, it's a great item because you can lock people down with it, and that's something that Goomba are obviously prioritizing. They bought they rushed the Hex on the Invoker, but that said, it's not like
I guess.
It's not like it's the most cost-effective damage item.
Well,
but
I guess it's
pretty good, but it's not like
Just
amazing.
for the storm. When he turns his BKB
Yeah.
on, Abyssal Blade goes through BKB.
Yeah, Abyssal Blade does go through BKB, and that's its main. That's basically the reason it's more expensive than Hex. If it didn't go through BKB, it wouldn't be quite so expensive. But
Well, then they really still want to shut down that storm, because storm is getting more and more scary this game. So I don't blame them for that. It's an interesting item pickup, as Storm actually picked up a Hex.
yeah, I mean, this Storm's been getting very, very farmed. Like I said before, he started off really badly this game as well. Was forced into his jungle just to farm against the
Yeah.
Invoker. Got ganked in the middle lane as well. Was never
was the
able to
first
find
blood.
some pickoffs. He went for a first. Yeah, he was the first blood. He went for a first item Black King Bar, which normally means
Oh.
you're not going to get that farmed. But
I just want to say that I'm very sorry for Chill's loss. He said he
What
got 2
happened?
charges on his Bloodstone.
it's the curse of the Bloodstone, though. This is a running joke between me and my friends. Is if you buy Bloodstone, you will lose because it happens almost every single time anyone buys a Bloodstone. They get Bloodstone, immediately feed. And it's not anything Chill's fault. It's just how the item goes generally, unless you get a very fast one, and then you're likely to be overconfident, jump in and die anyway.
Yeah, like Timbersaw. I mean, he can use it to kill himself. I guess that's nice. I mean, it sounds...
I guess that's nice.
No,
You
it
can use
sounds
it to
really
suicide,
horrible.
guys. What a great item.
No.
No, it is
But the
pretty
thing
useful that
is-
you can do that and deny.
Yeah, and... nice familiar disables rain. You're blocking the camp for your teammates.
What a player. What a player.
Yep. But the thing is, I mean, the other team has got a hand of God, right? Now at least you got a bit of heal on yourself as well.
Yeah, it is pretty useful for doing that, and especially when you do have fairly low HP heroes on the rest of your team. And Odie and on the Weaver and I can't read his name now. He's moving too fast.
Who?
The Invoker. I actually can't read his name
Nier.
because he's moving so fast. Nier on the Invoker. Yeah, now I can just about make it out, but it's like green
On green.
on a green background, and he's moving really fast because he's got maxed out Wex.
It's a turn and burn.
Yep, they're gonna try and turn around on this, and I don't think it feels like Counter-Describe. They seem to expect this. I mean, look at their positioning. It's to defend this Weaver here while he farms.
Slark has buyback at least. That's good for him.
Well, not Weaver, the Slug.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has buyback and a few other 1,000 gold as well.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people saving up gold in this game. Goomba, they're not doing that so much because, I mean, they're ahead. They know if they lose a fight, they're not going to lose as much in the way of towers, whereas Can't-Describe, if they lose a fight,
double
don't have
smokes,
buyback,
but
they lose
Goomba
the game.
smokes actually disappeared, so Afterlife's gonna realize someone's on the high ground. Blink, where is he? Doesn't have the vision. Doesn't have the vision. Storm jumping in from the side. Already has his BKB on, but Abyssal still gets the Vortex off though, and Rain mech'd up for the moment, but still in some trouble. It is gonna be the Slark that is hexed up, and also the Deafening Blast stopping him from attack. He is gonna be the first one to die. Now the Bird doing the work, just stunning down the 2 supports. Dazzle as well as Jen picked up because of the stuns from the familiars, dropping the gem. Nobody dead on the side of Goomba. Well, there's 3 dead on the side of Can't-Describe, and this is the opening for the tier 3 tower. That was a pretty good fight for Goomba, and a pretty, well, maybe even game-changing fight for Can't-Describe.
Yeah, this is going to be racks for them. They do buy back on the Slark. They buy back on a lot of people, actually. They're going to try and go for this, but Chill is probably just going to suicide.
Yeah,
Try
well,
and get out.
He
He
is
might even
there.
get
The
out.
one tree that was there was able to timber chain towards it, and that's a net. That's Slark. Bought back, dead again. Not able to do anything against the hatred coming out for him. The Vortex still comes out on Chill, but it is the Storm that is forced away. He can't even attack. He was still deafening blasted. Just no attack for you. Nice Ghost Scepter for Zoner, keeping him safe against Odie, but it is another 2 cores dead on the side of Can't-Describe. Odie still gonna take a bit of a damage here, but so far nobody actually dead on Goomba. And actually, I would say Chill suicide so that your team can push, perhaps.
Possibly, but there's just not much. There's not much anti-push on their side, and they're trying. But Odie's probably going to survive as long as he plays this fairly well. He's got time lapse up soon enough, and yeah, they get the range racks. They're not going for the melee barracks though. I mean, Goomba are playing this very safe.
Very safe. I thought maybe they could get the game off of that fight.
Yeah, the big thing for them is that they didn't have their Visage in that fight. I think he died early on.
Oh, maybe
not
they
sure
did.
what happened to him. But
Maybe
he's
they
their mech carrier for the team, so they weren't able to, complete that push. Even so, they still take a range racks, and they win the fight pretty handily. At this point, yeah, boots of travel up on Odie here, and Roshan is up again. And look at this. Can't describe, they're not going to be in time to stop this. This is a third Roshan the way of Goomba.
And Cheese is in the house.
Yeah, big deal for, this is a big deal for Goomba. At this point, I mean, can't describe, they've been behind this entire game, really, but this is probably going to seal the deal for them. Aegis and Cheese upon them. Cheese on Chill.
And with that fight, by the way, Chill is a bit happier because he's now sitting on 7 Bloodstone charges, so good for him.
He's still got less than he started with, though. The
true,
curse
but he
of the
was
Bloodstone.
on 2 before that fight. 2!
Yeah, that's a lot of Bloodstone charges more than he used to have, but
yeah.
It still makes me laugh because people always buy Bloodstone on Timbersaw, and then you always look at them, and they have like 6 Bloodstone charges, and you're like, wait, aren't we winning this game? Like, yeah, but I kind of jumped into the enemy team
Kind
a
of
lot.
suicided a couple of times. It's okay. Well, with an Aegis, Goomba feels pretty invincible, and to be honest, they seem kind of invincible as well, especially after that last fight. CD, this time at least, not gonna get caught out by people in the jungle, which was a kind of a bad position for them to be in previous fight. We're gonna see if Slark is managing to survive. He was forced to buy back, and he actually picked himself up a Talisman of Evasion to make sure that he can live a bit longer. Afterlife, already dragging Chill, and Chill has got the cheese though, and he is gonna be able to use it, or is he not? Yes, he is! He is gonna be fine! Exmo forced back already. Zonder is in trouble, stunned up, still manages to use the Hand of God, but not in time to use it on the Slark. Slark is dead, picked up, finger to death by Goomba, and that is gonna be your GG call, meaning that Goomba is gonna be our third semi-finalist here in the Spring Cup, and Can't Describe will have to be going home empty-handed. Well, tomorrow we are continuing with the last quarterfinals, where we are gonna see Power Rangers up against the Balkan Bears, after which we're gonna see the semi-finals. But this day 1 of the playoffs is hereby over. So your impressions, Vance? A first rundown of this game, if you still want to have some last words?
I feel sad for Can't Describe because they did so well in fighting back from a game where they were behind from the very start. But the fact is they got outdrafted pretty heavily in this game, and the Weaver was able to farm up a Storm. He still had like another 6k gold at the end, just floating around. He didn't have to buy back, only 1 death on him that game, and that's the real issue. They managed to get a Weaver, and Can't Describe, they didn't have enough lockdown to deal with him. Invoker, also only 1 death. Yeah, well played by Goomba. Well played by both of these teams. I feel really bad for Can't Describe because they played brilliantly from behind, particularly the Storm Spirit, who went from being crushed in the lane to, you know, second on the net worth, and the Slark as well. He was forced to buy back several times to save his team. Played great with the Blink Dagger, which is an unusual item pickup. I've seen it a couple times, but it's not exactly standard stuff. But
Do you feel like it's
they just couldn't do
draft
enough.
or the play?
I feel like it was pretty heavily the draft. I think the Slark should have gone for an Abyssal Blade, or at least get a Basher instead of the Sanjin Yasha. I think the Skadi was a good choice, but I think versus a Weaver, and the fact that they had so little in the way of lockdown, probably should have got a Basher into an Abyssal Blade. The draft was pretty heavily in favor of Goomba.
True that. Well, they managed to play it out perfectly. We're very patient at the start, of course. Just being very happy with just having their lanes going the way they want them to, without really diving, without really dying either. So overall, yeah, good play for Goomba. We're going to see them back tomorrow, where they will fight either Power Rangers or the Balkan Bears, depending on who wins tomorrow's quarterfinals. But we're going to start with Power Rangers versus the Balkan Bears tomorrow, followed by Total Aggression taking on TCN, and then we're going to see the winner of Power Rangers versus Balkan Bears and against Goomba. So that's going to be our plan for tomorrow, starting on 1700 CET time. So make sure you tune back in tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, or rather on Twitch, or at least for my co-caster, which is Set My Jibs with double B on Twitch TV. And on Twitter, we can be found on Shiver Gaming for my Twitter, and Twitter of my co-caster is Joss Wilkinson. Joss Wilkinson 1.
I'm the number 1 Joss Wilkinson out there. Because
go.
so many people have that name, right?
Yeah. Must be. Well, thank you for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow. Bye-bye.